Chosen Curls was bound to woo! Out of the womb, he rocked a moosed up mohawk, looking like a dreamy crossbreed of Vince Neil from Motley Crue and Bret Michaels from Poison in the making, who didn't require makeup to pull off the cock rock whaler look. What Gen X dads understand. Holla! Thank you very much! Most babies are born bald, with indentations in their heads already, looking like they were just dropped one too many times because Nurse Jackie got the shakes. Holla! Thank you very much! My breech flipper baby was born a day before my mother's birthday. Finally, my wife had living proof God wasn't picking on her anymore. Holla! Thank you very much! Chosen Curls was bound to woo! Mounted his high chair in 13 months flat with rock solid drive. Like L the Body, McPherson double dared him to do it. As if his new Amazon Fire, to be purchased later, depended on it. Despite his do-it-all dad resenting his in-laws for getting him that gift for Christmas because they got a good deal on Amazon Prime, knowing the previous year they got the Disney app to get his kids addicted to The Simpsons and on demand, and to never getting off their asses again to play child version games of fucking Sims, to the point where Do-It-All Dad last night says, "Hey Matilda, there comes a point in every girl's life where she starts to lose her natural rock-solid physique." And for you, in Coaching Upon 10 next month, that time is now. We're going to whip out the kettlebells starting tomorrow, and try not to hate me forever for making you feel bad about yourself, because it's not your fault that Baba and Jita thought it was a brilliant fucking idea to get you addicted to your own personal entertainment device at fucking 9 years old before you're able to develop your own sense of identity and pursue passions outside of creative play with Barbie and doing Corn Booth News and to snuggle with Daddy and to tell Daddy how excited you are about his next upcoming books, The Co-Sharing Comedian and Ways to Height Really Short Stories, being bestsellers, responsible for getting that elusive agent after all. Holla! Thank you very much! Everything about Chosen Curls was bound to woo! Screams Nature Boy. Woo! Like Chosen Curls aggressively trying to poke Sleeping Beauty's eyes open on his sister's Amazon Fire with his pubescent life shooter in the making. Chosen Curls was bound to woo! He stops traffic in Stop and Shop even after their prime rib sample station opens. I almost missed the birth of my son, my lucky number 3, Hardcore Hunga, aka Chosen Curls, was bound to woo! Because I had to wait 5 hours for my in-laws to arrive. As if like they've never used freaking Waze before and were in no rush. Similar to 4 summers ago prior, when Baba's excuse for not visiting her first grandchild, Matilda Signor's Cornbluth, all summer, in addition to her second, Arthur Morrison Cornbluth, aka Archer USA, her excuse being at the time, well, the AC in my car is broken. And of course, I hear this lame excuse, and I think to myself, well, I'm positive your husband wouldn't mind you sweating off a couple of tons in the process. Holla! Thank you very much! And now for my son's 4th birthday today, which is why I'm performing a piece once published in the Good Men Project, Chosen Curls is Bound to Woo, because today is Headbanger's bald, big 4-year-old birthday celebration. And I'm getting really tired of well, my parents got a COVID shot, but only one, so I don't want to take any chances and put your harm at risk, meaning your child, even though no kids are dropping fucking dead from COVID, and they're used as politicized fucking pawns since the beginning, all to get you-know-who out of the White House. But, yeah, no, here's a scooter, have fun with it, but you're not going to see me on his 4th birthday. I still need to get another shot, despite the fact that the CDC wants us to triple mask forever, regardless, in addition to continued lockdowns, and eventually, when we resume to normal, that ever happens, allegedly, which doesn't look likely, there will be no restaurants to go out to. So I really hope that other parents didn't raise deadweight fucking conversationalist children, because they're going to resent their existence the more FaceTime they're forced with them forevermore. And at this point, I'm just so tired of hearing from anyone saying, oh, well, it wasn't politicized. COVID's not politicized. People that don't believe that the COVID epidemic wasn't politicized for nefarious purposes, I don't want you in my life anymore. Unless you're my wife and I don't have a fucking choice in the matter. And yesterday I'm at a cheese shop. I made my son a $35 birthday omelet special today using Manchengo, 4-month-old Manchengo, $25 a pop. So first, this guy with the hat, of course, wearing the winter hat, he says, yeah, can I help you? I'm like, well, I wanted to get something special for my son for his birthday. I got to be honest, I didn't come in here with the intention of selling my fucking spleen for a medium-sized chunk of Manchengo, but it's tempting. I do like the adjective tingly. I'll have to use it in Mad Libs next time with my kids. And I like the fact that your $25 a pound Manchengo screams, Trader Joe's is full of shit. It is the antithesis of authentic, sheepy, salty, briny, yummy goodness. And they can go woke themselves long time. And I said, I'll have the Manchengo. And I'm going to have the hipster grilled cheese with the poblano chilies. And that's not just because you're wearing the hat, so I can feel more comfortable in your presence. Just so we're clear. Thank you very much! And then I got to hear about this rich mom from Mount Kisco. Her kid lives in Manhattan, but she's going to live in some Airbnb in freaking Nashville just because they can. And she teaches dance. She's a dance studio instructor, but she's making more money from unemployment, but she's continuing to do the dance studio stuff because she loves it. And I'm thinking, if I have to hear one more time of someone that's making fucking money enough to bang out rent, teaching dance to a bunch of knock-knee puttas in Scarsdale Village, I'm going to fucking kill myself, regardless of me getting 5-star rave reviews for the Great American Jew novel or not. Thank you very much! I mean, don't get me wrong, I want artists to make a living, but outside of freelance photography, when I used to live in freaking Brooklyn, I had no idea that dance studio instructors were cleaning up. And also, the thing is, I have this neighbor. I guess the reason why I'm sensitive about dance instructors, I got this neighbor. I call him the hardest working man in Croton Falls. Works for UPS. Works some country club on the weekends. Before all of his talk about being all down with encouraging his son's creative side, he's a dancer, but he's Puerto Rican. And he doesn't look like a flamboyant, Fagala type dancer. And so I tried to bond with him one morning because he was here. Talking about the weekend performance at the Super Bowl. Saying, hey, so what about that performance, huh? By the weekend and those dancers look like a cross between Phantom of the Opera and freaking Friday the 13th on freaking ecstasy. While they did that jilted, I still got a string of gerbils stuck on my ass routine. Thank you very much. And they says, well, I was reading on Twitter and they didn't really say that much about it, so I didn't check it out. And thinking back to the father, I tell him about the Great American Jew novel, 4 books later. It's not as if he's saying, hey, where can I sign? Where can I write a review in your honor? Because I support art and the art of comedy and freedom of expression as much as I proclaim to. So, that would explain my pent-up rages towards people that teach dance for a living. And I was at a pizza shop yesterday. So a place got closed down. This place called Portofino. They had the biggest slices of all time. I'm shocked that they closed down. So I could blame that on Cuomo too. This new place is nice. It's well lighted. It looks like a place that freaking belongs in Williamsburg. It's here in northern Westchester. They got a bomb vodka margarita slice. My daughter loves latte. Not complaining about the development. And it definitely looks completely different compared to the painted murals on the wall of the Mediterranean before. Whereas like in the past, you'd go to Portofino here in northern Westchester, and you think to yourself, I feel like dying during my honeymoon. And I got a conversation about, I like the cheesesteak slice. I had no idea that even existed until I had a sales conference for Robert Half in Jersey ages ago. And of course, some like fat bastard in Jersey created the cheesesteak hero slice. And the pizza guy laughed, a long time. I said, you know, the ranch wasn't a thing when I grew up. Like, how did ranch become a thing? How many times are you having like a bomb spaghetti and meatballs dish that's like homemade, got some veal, got some pork, and then thinking, you know what's missing from this? A little ranch, some hot sauce, and I'll feel like a Mexican busboy who doesn't know the fucking difference. Because I didn't grow up with the San Marzano tomatoes and I'm used to salsa, or I just like fucking hot sauce and everything. And that doesn't mean that I don't have a nuanced plate for fucking mole, which uses every spice concoction known to mankind. So go walk yourself. Holla. Thank you very much. So back to Chosen Curls. So I almost missed the birth for my son, Chosen Curls. So I had to wait 5 hours for my in-laws to arrive. My younger brother was supposed to babysit my 2 other celestial beams of light once my wife went into labor. After he arrived at our home sweet home, he thought it was a bright idea to ask me to get him stoned off the sticky icky stuff during his first time babysitting children ever. Now, if he was like Donna from like the Grateful Dead and had this history of sobriety for the most part and, you know, was a beacon of stability for the most part, and was accustomed to like guiding people freaking out or because their kids got a hold of their acid stash, then I would, you know, when they weren't eating freaking stray cats because they were starving to death in the streets of San Francisco, then I'd be like, okay, fine, no big deal. But didn't really, when your younger brother, who's never there, who's read like a grand total of like 2 lines to your kids ever, which was actually very comical because it was one of those Dr. Seuss poems that was a major tongue twister. I forget the name of it. But he was a stuttering jerk-off. It was really funny. Talk about like having like no tolerance for tongue-twisting rhymes by Dr. Seuss and having no tongue-twisting rhyming muscle. And for him, so you definitely know the younger brother's not really there for you when he's there for your 3rd child, and it's about to be born. And it says, yeah, get me stoned so I can look after your 2 other kids. So I could be the best I can be. Doesn't really scream, I'm actually a better brother than only getting you a 12-pack of beer when I worked at a restaurant in the Berkshires throughout the totality of your existence for 43 years on this earth. I'm actually 44, turning 45. So, but this is what I get for going on a bitter-laced stroll down memory lane. Holla! Thank you very much! So, yeah, so my brother says, yeah, give me stone. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to call my in-laws. Thanks for nothing. Because your big bro is stupid! So stupid! UHF lives! Holla! Thank you very much! So Chosen Curls was bound to, woo! He's been blessed, the most natural smile of all time. As opposed to Leonardo DiCaprio's strained smile from grinding his teeth from too much subpar blow. Chosen Curls was bound to, woo! He waddles. At like 2, he waddled with excitable joy across the room, like Charlie Chaplin after taking a dump in his pants, without ever losing his non-predatory charm along the way. Chosen Curls was bound to, woo! Does a powerful, straightforward jab at 20 months old. I'm not calling him the second coming of Adonis Creed, but his big brother will be crying, no moss in no time. No offense, son, but he'll break you, you whiny bitch. Hey now, holla, thank you very much. Chosen Curls was bound to, woo! He was 20 months old. He was already flicking 5-pound free weights across the room like he was freaking flicking pistachio shells at a pass-out Andy Dick in the Viper Room 3 hours before New Year's Eve. River Phoenix lives. What Gen X dads understand. Holla. Thank you very much. Chosen Curls was bound to, woo! Am I being too ragey, loud for your taste? Fucking hack reviewer who said that the Great American Jew novel sounds like I'm recording in a very small, decompressing, tiny flat on the Lower East Side room. Holla! Thank you very much. Yeah, so Chosen Curls was bound to, woo! Back in the day when we used to clap it up to Moth into Flame by Metallica in the car, he would emanate rip-roaring, feel-good joy. Rockstar Reddy's emotive clapping antics could go viral! Metallica lives! Holla! Thank you very much! Chosen Curls was bound to, woo! We're in coffee shops and all the women asked to hold him. I'll tell my son later. You do realize your star power stems from Doodle Dad's tree trunk, right? Holla! Thank you very much! Chosen Curls was bound to, woo! Big Sis and Big Bro are tucked in. I ask Chosen Curls, a.k.a. Rockstar Reddy, do you want to hear Dada's new podcast in bed? Yeah! He yells back with excitable glee. And, Daddy, you're a moron. I hate your books and your jokes too. My wife won't even bookmark my blog. This is the Do It All Dad Year podcast. Dad-friendly entertainment for you and me. What Gen X dads understand. Controlling our kids' economy can make our kids great again. My 3 fuss-free kids, 99.9% of the time, are living proof of it. Happy birthday, Samuel Teddy Kornbluth, who was conceived in Buffalo for my old friend Jared's wedding. Feels like yesterday. The fastest 4 years of my life. This podcast would not be possible without the birth of my lucky number 3. 400 plus episodes later, almost 18,000 downloads later, 4 books later, to the most productive period of my life. John Lennon wishes he was as productive during his stay-at-home dad years. Holla! Thank you very much! I grow closer to my son every day. The fact that he already understands the full spectrum of sarcastic loaded might is hilarious and a testament to my excellent comedy tutelage. He loves to make Daddy laugh, and that fills my heart with joy to the nth degree. And I'm the luckiest dad alive. And I wish every male, gay or straight, has the opportunity to have any child. I'm not going to say a son is better than a daughter, because Matilda, my first, continues to amaze. But fatherhood allows you the opportunity to relive your age of innocence through more mature, like live through lenses, and it gives you the opportunity to make sure that their birthdays never blow. It also gives you an opportunity to make sure that they're not as pushover putsy as you were. Now, obviously, you can't protect your kids from everything, but you can help put them on the fast track of success. You can push them the way your parents didn't do, by giving them endless support for whatever they're excited about doing next, and just encourage them to try everything, because high school, elementary school, it's all a giant open mic. And I talk about in my Heavy Metal High Pilot, where it's your opportunity to figure out what you rock out the most at, and that's going to make you feel most alive, and that's going to give you the best opportunity to achieve greatness in this world. So God, thank you for the opportunity for being able to perfect the human race through my lucky number 3, all thanks to you and my star-studded seed flowing through my star-studded do-it-all dad year tree trunk. And I also want to give a shout out to my dear friend Chaim Ryback. He's a lawyer. He's one of my groomsmen. Been a friend for a very long time. After I got my writing break for America's Hard 100, they had a re-airing of it, and he found the recording of it, and he sent me a text saying, like, great stuff, bro. And he knows how hard I've worked, and he's always been a big believer in me. He even had sent a nice text a long time ago. He says, I had a dream of you having this like second home in New Mexico, and we had like a big party there. So wouldn't that be nice if that happened? If I got an agent from the Coach Sharing Comedian and Waste of Height, really short stories. And Kyle would come to my bringer shows, and when his son Noah was born, I serenaded him with shtick out of the womb. Schlepped from Brooklyn. He was born in Columbia, in the city, all the way on the west side. And I remember that moment like it was yesterday. And his son Noah just got into a really bad sledding accident. And I don't know what's going to happen. And I can't really get into the details. But it's put the fear of God into my dear friend Chaim's heart. We were able to reconnect. I left a message. He's a great father. Gets involved in wrestling and baseball. I mean, I'm in awe of what he does, because being a lawyer, wasn't obviously his like first choice in life, and he works around the clock and still finds time to do all this stuff. With his son, he's got a daughter too, Lily, and Chaim's parents are from Israel originally, so he's a proud Jew, and he went to SUNY Binghamton. I went to Ithaca, otherwise known as Cornell's retarded next door neighbor. Yeah. So we had many get-togethers with our crew from Edgemont in college, because he was so close by. And it's really special, like when you have friends that never gave up on you. And I got this lovely text from him saying, I miss you, man. I love you. Got your message. And he admitted some fault in his part. I can admit some fault too. And I just want to dedicate this podcast special to our sons who can make our country great again, such as Noah, and such as my son Arthur, and especially for my birthday boy today, Samuel Teddy Kornbluth. I love all my fans through this podcast and on my WordPress blog, old and new, and I'll talk to you guys soon.